Another weekly recap here from me. This is Franz. Thanks for tuning in again. Finally, some new developments. It's gotten really boring with markets just going up and up and up. We need some excitement here, I guess. Now, this is the Bitcoin chart. We're not going to talk about that. I was just having a look. But what you see in the Bitcoin chart is exactly what you see this week in the Nikkei. You have a market running up, and the balance zone where the market usually trades when you don't have um, too much influencing news coming in, corrective mode, so to speak. This is where the market wants to be. This is where the balance of the market is. When the market zooms away so far, then this just means that you need this balance to be found again in the marketplace, and you will have a correction back to the balance zone. And this doesn't mean that the trend is over, but it just means that you have to suffer some drawdowns in your open position. And when we take a look at the Nikkei here for this week, what we see is the price running straight up here in the last 2 months, but the balance zone is unable to follow such straight market movements. So some sort of a correction down into here. Let me just open that pen tool so I can show you just a little bit better. The market now trading here like this. Just a second. Trading here like this with this hammer or divergent bar means that we have a rejection of these price levels right there, and it's very possible that at least a correction like this before we come up, or a correction down into the balance zone, or even something deeper, as the Nikkei seems to like this here in this move, where we see even the blue line being touched, the blue line. That would mean there is a possibility of this market firing back all the way to the breakout entries, and this is even more so, or even more significant, when we take a look at that overall time frame. What we see is that this rejection happens just above this breakout area here, and we even have this fractal here back in 1996 at 22,800, and this is more or less what is being rejected here. So maybe this is still resistance from down here at work, where we never saw prices reaching this high before. All these fractals here are lower, significantly lower. They are more in the area of those fractals here, but this spike into the almost 23,000 area might trigger a resistance here. And this is all interpretation. I don't know, and nobody knows. The market might as well just continue up without even making a lower low. But what does change now, or could change now, if it doesn't just keep on going higher, is that compared to the previous 2 months, the market is now in the position to make a new low. So after all of these higher lows that you see here, you now get a new kind of internal market phase, where the market could come lower and could enter a corrective mode. And we don't know if it's a corrective mode that will be internal, and eventually the trend will be continued to the upside, or if the monthly resistance is so strong that no new uptrend will unfold, that there is not enough momentum for whatever reason, and that this is the top, the market having run up into that resistance and now seeing some selling like crazy. Now this is the first indication that we have that this could happen. We have these two scenarios. The trend just keeps on running, smaller correction maybe, or the market could unfold to the downside. We don't know. Momentum is still going up, of course, but these are all lagging indicators, so that doesn't mean anything. The price is the primary indicator, and it will show us first what is going on. And we got to recognize this action here after the market ran up so quickly and the balance zone is so far away. As a trend follower, usually you don't, or you wouldn't react to something like this because you want to wait for your exit signal. But when you add on into these trends, this is a very nice opportunity to take out some of the add-ons, take in profits, and let a part of your position run and exit that one on the trend ending. That's how I'm gonna handle that. That was Nikkei. Finally, some stuff going on. Not so in the S&P. S&P is not doing anything. It's just going up. That's it. Let's not watch at this or look at this anymore. DAX also a little bit interesting here. We have breakouts being triggered down here. That's where we're long from. We have a stop just above the cross of the balance zone here below this small candle. And we just let this one run. We have no clue what it's going to do. It already gave us this new low here this week, which I was just talking about in the Nikkei. Hitting the balance zone is possible. Let's see if it continues or if we are correcting more. We have no idea. Euro Swiss franc has been of interest in the past. We could see continuation of the uptrend. It's still running. Prices staying above the balance zone. Breakouts are marked here for you, and hopefully this just comes up all the way to 122, 124, and that would be a nice trend right there. Euro yen could be failing at the balance zone as well, as it has rejected this green line here, the shorter term support, and might continue up. This might actually be a nice area for a new stop. If there's a fractal created here, this could be a nice new stop. Let's see if this guy can pick up some momentum again, because we don't have it going on right now, and we do need to move out of this sideways movement, which is an internal correction. Let's see if that happens, or if this one loses momentum and will eventually stop us out without really having this trend gotten going. We are long from down here, but it's not the greatest movement. It takes a long time, but doesn't really move that fast. So let's wait and see. New opportunity in US dollar Canadian. We do have a fractal created this week. Not actually in this chart. We do have it, or I have it in my FXCM charts. This is also FXCM, but the price feed seems to be different, a little bit different at least. I have a fractal here. When you have one in your price chart, you can actually put in a buy stop and buy this if it goes there again and hits that signal. And for the last part, US dollar yen was hit. This week we have breakouts being taken right here. We can just move this line. This was a previous buy, it failed. This was a short, it failed. Now we're long again. Let's see if this one works. We're closing below it. Have been closing below it for 3 weeks actually, as you can see. In this price feed, I have it different in mine. The signal hadn't been hit since this, or yeah, until this week. So let's see if this one continues up. I think that overall we do have a chance to move higher, just because of the situation that we are breaking out here as well. Let's wait and see, and let's see how this runs into the end of 2017, taking profits in the Nikkei. If this 22,300 mark is hit, that's where the low of the current weekly bar is that we were mentioning in the Nikkei. The profits would be quite extensive, since this was such a run up in the last 2 months. Quite extensive profits here. This would make it a great year, a great trend following year where add-ons can be taken advantage of, and the core position is being kept in the market to profit from the overall trend that might still unfold. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.